You're listening to an African Elements top news story for July 10, 2025. Please visit our website at africanelements.org for more daily news. Greece is experiencing a significant increase in migrant arrivals, particularly from North Africa. Over 500 migrants recently arrived at the port of Lavrio near Athens, after being intercepted south of Crete. These individuals, mostly young men, were transferred overnight aboard a bulk carrier due to maximum capacity at makeshift reception centers on Crete. Crete has seen approximately 500 new arrivals daily, totaling around 2,000 migrants and refugees landing on the island. This influx has caused considerable frustration among local authorities and tourism operators struggling to provide basic services. In response, Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis announced a policy shift, suspending asylum processing for migrants arriving by sea from North Africa for 3 months. This measure specifically targets arrivals on Crete and aims to manage the crisis. The decision means a temporary halt to the formal review of protection claims for these individuals. The suspension raises questions about migrants' rights and the legal frameworks governing asylum. While the immediate implications for migrants are unclear, it suggests uncertainty for those seeking refuge. This situation underscores the complex challenges faced by nations on the front lines of global migration, especially with large-scale arrivals from unstable regions. The decision to suspend asylum processing highlights ongoing debates about Greece's compliance with international and EU law. Greece has faced scrutiny regarding its treatment of migrants and asylum seekers. Non-governmental organizations argue that Greece has not effectively investigated claims of pushbacks, where migrants are allegedly returned without due process. Reports claim authorities have left migrants stranded in the Aegean Sea or along the Evros land border without access to food, water, or medical care. Official data shows that Greek authorities systematically detain asylum seekers and irregular migrants. This practice is viewed as a violation of the duty to use deprivation of liberty only as a last resort. Conditions in detention and reception centers are a significant humanitarian concern. Previous reports from NGOs have raised alarms about alleged abuses, including beatings and confiscation of personal belongings. The systematic detention of migrants, coupled with reported abuses, underscores the urgent need for transparency and adherence to human rights standards. The majority of migrants arriving in Greece are young men from Somalia, Sudan, Egypt, and Morocco, reflecting challenges in their home countries. Somalia, for example, is experiencing ongoing conflict, with a recent suicide bombing in Mogadishu. Such violence compels individuals to seek safety and better opportunities elsewhere. The broader geopolitical landscape in the Middle East and Africa remains volatile, contributing to migration flows. When people face daily threats to their lives, the decision to embark on a perilous journey becomes a desperate act of survival. The suspension of asylum processing coincides with diplomatic strain between the EU and Libya over migration cooperation. EU officials were turned away from eastern Libya following a disagreement on planned talks to curb crossings. A visit by EU officials was unsuccessful, with authorities in eastern Libya declaring them persona non grata. This diplomatic breakdown raises concerns in Greece about potentially thousands of additional migrant arrivals from Libya. Prime Minister Mitsotakis stated that Greece's Navy and Coast Guard are prepared to work with Libyan authorities to prevent migrant boats from leaving. The inability to cooperate effectively with key transit countries complicates efforts to manage migration flows, increasing the burden on Greece. These challenges are part of a larger picture of geopolitical volatility across the Middle East and Africa. Recent conflicts, such as an attack by Yemen's Houthi rebels, highlight ongoing security concerns in the region. Such disruptions create environments where people cannot safely remain, pushing them to seek refuge in more stable regions. The humanitarian consequences for migrants following the suspension of asylum processing are concerning. Past accounts detail the treatment of migrants and asylum seekers in Greece, including allegations of beatings and confiscation of belongings. Some reports claim authorities left migrants stranded in dangerous conditions without access to basic necessities. The systematic detention of asylum seekers continues to be documented, highlighting the severe human toll of migration crises. Copyright African Elements.